Hello, welcome back to
Bunso Bites.
I'm your host, Ami43.
And I'm your co-host, Jiggy.
Hi, Jiggy.
Hi, Ami.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Very well.
Why?
I'm not sick anymore.
We love that. Yay!
Yay!
Insert fireworks. Insert confetti. Insert clapping.
I'm not doing all that.
Yes, you are feeling better. Both of us are feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that I only cough now if I just laugh too hard.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking too much or if I laugh too hard, that's when I start coughing.
Mm-hmm.
Literally had a little girls' coffee date this past weekend, and me and my girlfriend were just chit-chatting and like catching up at this coffee shop, and by like hour 2 or 2.5, I started coughing, but like there was nothing. It was just like, oh, I think I'm just talking too much. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if it's just the way I'm talking or whatever it is. And I'm like, okay. And then I started coughing, but there's literally nothing. It was just, I don't know, whatever lingering, whatever. It's just like, meh. But otherwise, feeling good. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm glad you're feeling better too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm glad things are going well. Any updates for this week?
For me, none. But I know for you there is.
Why? What's my update?
Well, your birthday.
It is my birthday week, yes. Yeah, I have a birthday in February, and it's been really, I don't even know what the word is. It not that it snuck up on me, like I very much was like anticipating it and mentally planning for it, but I kind of blinked and I was like, oh, like it's this week.
Mm-hmm.
So it was simultaneously like okay, yeah, we're gonna plan for it, we're gonna make plans and all this stuff, and then this week we have had plans like 3-4 times just this week alone. And I know that I have like 2 other friends who are trying to make other plans with me, you know, after, you know, so it's just like, okay, you know, I'm very grateful. But definitely a busy time for me socially, I guess.
Yep.
Lots of people who want to celebrate, and I'm down because I like cake.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. But yes, it is birthday week, so that'll be fun. And we did do a little bit of shopping. We did a little bit of damage over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Chiggy very graciously for my birthday got me some Disney stuff, and I'm very, very excited about it. And it gave me the push that I needed to start or to like finally set up my glam room.
Mm-hmm.
And now I have a glam room, and it's all decorated with all the fun Disney stuff that you got me, and it's like really cool. So.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Bath and Body Works came out with a Disney Princess collection. And in that collection,
their second or their third?
I have no clue.
Okay.
But for this year in their collection, they had 4 princesses, I guess mists and or fragrances. 6?
Aurora, Ariel. No. Aurora, Snow White, Belle, Tiana, Mulan, Rapunzel. 6.
Okay, so 6. 6 Disney princesses, mist and or fragrances. They came out with a gift set for the mists, which I did pick up for you. I also picked up for you the Disney Princess Castle. That is a candle holder and or pedestal.
And it lights up. And it
lights up, which is the one that Ami is just going crazy over.
Pretty.
And then I also got her a backpack. So, is it a backpack or is it a bag?
I mean, like in between a backpack and a duffel, it has 2 straps, but it kind of like is like more slouchy than a traditional backpack, I guess.
Okay.
More slouchy, a little bit more squared off too.
Yeah. So the thing is with Ami, she always has bags. She has bags for days, like plastic bags, regular bags, gift bags.
You always need a bag to carry your
purses,
things.
Backpacks, duffel bags, anything. You have bags for bags.
You need bags to carry your things.
Okay. Anyways, she has too many of them.
No, I
Yes, you do.
don't.
Yes, you do.
There are different types of bags for different things.
Okay, you have too many. So, I know you have a bunch of bags that we still need to grab from my house and bring it here to the apartment. And yeah, I have no clue where you're gonna put them.
Wait, it's not a problem. There's
Okay.
a place for it.
Okay. It could go to the trash. just kidding.
That's so not even like nice.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Those are my things.
I know that. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so for today's episode, we're gonna talk about some bad restaurant experiences. Because I know for this year, we will celebrate Ami's birthday at a restaurant, and we're gonna have all types of good foods and just have a good old time with friends and family. So, I thought this would be a good topic to talk about, and then we have another episode next week about something that we don't usually do at restaurants, but it is a pretty controversial topic. So tune in next week for that one. But yeah, some bad experiences that we've had at restaurants. So I know that in the Hampton Roads region, there are a bunch of like all you can eat places.
Yeah.
So the ones that I'm referring to are the ones that do like sushi and stuff. And I remember there was a time where we went to go eat, and it was me, you, and then my brother and his wife. And it was just the four of us. This is before they had their child. And we came in, we sat down and, got to eating. And I noticed that the waitress that was taking care of us was not taking care of us.
Right.
And she would come around only to take our orders. And then we got our initial order. Perfect, fine. But after that, nothing.
Yeah.
And so,
drink refill.
Yeah, no drink refills on that one. She may have gotten another order from us to get more food, but that was it. And then there were other tables that
around
the
us.
same amount of people, four people to a table, sat next to us.
Yeah.
After we sat down, they were done with their entire dining experience. They got all the food they wanted, all the refills they wanted, and they were 3
orders in.
Yeah, they were done and left before we even got our check. And I think the worst part about this experience, other than the server being non-attentive, was that at the end of the meal, she was like, "Oh, leave a tip."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why? Your service was non-existent. Other than you bringing the food out to us, which is what you're supposed to do anyways, you did not go above and beyond that."
Yeah.
So I know we did an episode about that.
Tipping before, yes.
So in this case, like, I should have just left, but I was like, okay, you deserve something, so I left something. So that's just one of our stories. You remember that though?
I think so, yeah. I know we've kind of had I wouldn't say that we've had a lot of bad restaurant experiences. We've had ones, and whenever we do, generally speaking, it's like, it's so bad that it stands out kind of bad. Like, normally we have pretty decent luck and nothing is too crazy. But then, like, the times that we do have bad experiences, they do stand out. And I do remember. And this is actually like a recurring thing. A lot, at least the ones that I remember, a lot of the times that we have a bad experience is when, just like that, our waiter or waitress, whatever it is, or whoever they are not attentive to us. Now, I have also, like, in my head, tried to play like devil's advocate, where I think if the recurring problem is we have an inattentive waiter, is there something that maybe we are doing? And I say we because you and I tend to go out to eat, like, as a couple all the time. Is there something or some type of indication that we present or that we have that maybe makes the waiter maybe more hesitant towards us, or maybe makes them want to limit their interactions with us? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to, like, justify in a way. And this is, because at the end of the day, people are people. If a waiter or waitress is having a bad day, that's the same as me when I'm customer service facing, in my job, which is not very often, but like, because I do it virtually. But when I do, it's like, I know that sometimes, stuff will get to you and you can get frustrated or irritated. But when your job is solely customer service, like that is your job, it's really hard to justify that type of behavior. And like, so like example in that instance with the all you can eat thing, I was like thinking, I'm like, okay, maybe, and again, this is kind of like a generalization. I tend to order drinks without ice, and you tend to order drinks with ice, and maybe like because from the beginning we maybe come across as very hyper specific with our orders. I know that when we go out with Kuya and his wife, they're not picky, but they're specific too. Like sometimes they'll order something, oh, can you not put this in it or whatever, and we've done that too, like depending on what it is. And I wonder, or I'm kind of, like I said, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. It's like, is it because of those types of things that maybe it makes the waiter or the waitress think that, oh, I want to limit my interactions with them so that I don't, like I don't have to deal with that type of bad customer. But at the same time, I'm also like, especially at an all-you-can-eat place, you and I, we can throw down hard. We can do 3-4 reorders. And like, and I know that whenever we do that, especially when our waiter or wait staff is like very attentive, we tip pretty generously, because for us to get in that many orders, especially nowadays, there's a lot of like time limits and stuff like that. And for us to be able to do that, like you have to have an attentive wait staff. So I don't know. It's kind of like it's a hard line to stand on, because number one, I'm very anti-confrontational. Chiggy can tell you, even when things are going really, really wrong, even when things have been really, really bad or whatever, I will still take the L. Like I would much rather take the L than to confront someone, or than to tell someone that they've done something wrong or something bad. I would just rather suck it up and be like, no, it's my fault. I'm just a bad person. And so it's like, it's a hard line to stand on. And I think you didn't say this earlier, but another big reason why we wanted to talk about this was very, very recently we went to we'll call it a nicer restaurant. And by nicer, I mean they have entrees that are like $20 to $30. This isn't your McDonald's type of restaurant. This is like a sit down, a date night restaurant.
Yeah.
And very hyper specifically, at least for us at the time, it was our first date as a married couple. Yeah. So it was very special. We were so excited. It not intentionally planned, but it was during restaurant week. So Chiggy and I, in our planning, we were like, hey, why don't we try a restaurant that we haven't tried yet? We've generally had really good luck with restaurant week in years past. And so we picked a restaurant. And it was interesting.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
From the beginning, and I try to do my due diligence as a consumer. I Googled, like, hey, do I need to make a reservation? This, that, and the other. And, per Google's answer, it was like, you don't have to make a reservation. It's highly recommended because it's restaurant week, number one, so probably busy, but also number two, the time that we were trying to go was peak time. So having a reservation would be great, or it wouldn't hurt. And from the get-go, I mean, I don't know, what was your perspective on it? Like, from the get-go, it was like, we get in there and we're like, yeah, we have a reservation. And the restaurant wasn't that busy.
It wasn't. But
then homeboy just took a long time trying to figure out what was going on. And I was like, okay, do you really need to find this, or just seat us? Like, the restaurant was half empty. So, I mean,
not even. It was less than half empty.
Yeah. Like, there were plenty of tables that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe their POS system is, like, particular or something. But I was kind of just like, we were just standing there. And I was like, if you can't find the reservation, can you just seat us? Like, we were standing there for a hot minute, just looking at this guy, or host, he's a guy, finagle and try to find our reservation. And I was like, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm just letting you know we had a reservation. Clearly we didn't need it, but it's fine. And it took a long time. And then even then, when they did sit us down, they sat us at a 4-seater table, which didn't make sense to me because we were very clearly a couple, and there was a lot of tables that were open that were 2-seater. Like, we could have just as easily sat at, a table for 2, but they sat us at a table for 4.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, that was a weird start to our date.
Yeah, I mean, we don't mind sitting at a table of 4. We like the extra space, but
yeah, I guess that's arguable. Yeah.
In this scenario, you'll find out later on that the restaurant gets packed.
The vibes were weird. Yeah.
And a couple just sitting at a 4-seater is kind of.
We looked like we were not nice people.
Yeah, but it's not even like that, but it's like your business plan, like your business model, if you're going to sit a couple at a 4-top during peak, you're losing out on potential revenue because there could be 2 other people sitting at that table that's also ordering.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if this host was new or not, but it was just a bad choice. But, I don't know the logistics behind it, but, in our experience, that restaurant did get packed.
Yeah.
And so
literally,
we were still there during the peak, and we could have easily sat at a 2-top, but hey, that's what they gave us.
I would say like 20 minutes into us sitting, the restaurant packed up, or maybe 30 minutes, but like we sat down and then like within the hour, the rest of the restaurant filled up.
Yeah, so just a brief overview. When we got there was maybe 6 tables of customers, and there were plenty of tables to choose from.
Yeah.
And when we got in there, there was, we looked around, there was like a lot of open tables. And then, like you said, maybe 20, 30 minutes later, there were more people in there. And by the time that we gotten our entrees, we couldn't see a open table. So we get seated, and they give us the menus. And for whatever reason, we're looking at the menus, and we're like, where are the items for restaurant week?
Oh yeah, because there was a specific restaurant week menu. Yes. We didn't have that.
So we didn't have it, and so we're looking the front and back of the menus, and we don't see anything that could tell us what items are eligible for the restaurant week. So our waitress comes back, and I ask her, hey, do you guys have a separate restaurant week menu? And she's like, oh yeah, we do have that. Let me go get that for you. Why did the host not give us that at the beginning?
And I'm pretty sure I said it too.
Yeah, it wasn't even like the end of restaurant week. We were on the later half of restaurant week, but it definitely wasn't like the last day or anything like that.
Right.
And so that was another thing. You're expecting a bunch of people to come in for restaurant week, and you don't even give your customers the restaurant week menu. So whatever, dude. But yeah, the restaurant week menu had a selection, and we chose all of it.
It worked out nicely. There were 2 appetizers, so he got one, I got the other. There were 2 entrees, he got one, I got the other. There were 2 desserts, he got one, I got the other.
Yeah.
So it evened out nicely. And even our waitress was like, oh yeah, literally other couples have been doing this so they could try everything. I was like, perfect. Worked out great.
Yep. So we went ahead and ordered our drinks, ordered our meals for the night. And then we also ordered an extra appetizer just because we were extra hungry, because we knew that we were going to go out tonight.
Oh, yes.
So we did that. And the appetizers that we ordered first, or that we ordered at the end, came out first. And that was delicious.
Biscuits.
Yes, delicious.
Delicious buttery biscuits.
And then the 2 appetizers that we ordered from the menu in regards to restaurant week came out after that. Mine was decent.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad at all. It wasn't to my liking, but that's just my personal taste. But it was actually pretty good.
Right. Yes.
I won't say that it was bad, because it wasn't. Not at all. But
it just wasn't like, if you were to see it on the menu again, you wouldn't necessarily, personal preference wise, you wouldn't order it again. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think that's totally valid. Mine was fine. Same as you. It's the type of, I got soup, And it, like, I love soup. Y'all, you don't even know. I love every day of the week. Chiggy asked me what you want for dinner. I'm like, soup. Doesn't matter if it's 10 degrees or if it's 100 degrees. I love soup. And it was fine. As in, you know, like, okay, this is a type of soup that maybe someone else would like. I did not, personal preference-wise, like this soup. And a big part of that was, to me, and I understand that I have maybe a different palate than, like, the Mid-Atlantic palate, because I grew up in the South. But to me, the soup was gravy. It was not soup. It was, it, like, that you can, and I, not to be that person, but, like, you can tell they use a thickener. And most of the time in chowders, like, a thickener is a good idea. This was a seafood chowder. But, yeah, it was gravy with, like, bits in it. And the taste wasn't bad. It was just, like, this is not soup. Now, can you argue that, like, you know, some soups are thicker than others? Yes, 100%. But there is a difference between soup and stew and gravy. Texture-wise and whatever. So this was in the gravy pile. Like, literally, you could put this on top of a potato and it would not run. Like, that's how thick she was. Again, personal preference. I wouldn't order it again solely for that. It didn't taste bad. It's just, I didn't like the texture. Like, it was just too thick. I was like, okay, not really soup to me. That's not to say that I want runny chowder either. Like, I fully understand that you need to use thickener in chowder, but yeah, a little bit more slip would have been nice. I guess, again, personal preference. It wasn't bad. And again, the biscuits, top notch. We were happy with the biscuits. Now, after we got our appetizers, our waitress was very kind. She picked up, like, our plate. Like, they came out on, like, the little appetizer plates. You know, she refilled our water, and we waited.
Yeah, we waited.
And waited.
And waited.
And then a little bit of more waiting.
And by that time, we got a little bit frustrated, so we just people watched.
Yeah, which, like, we do normally, but, like, this was the kind of people, like, we were vehemently people watching. And by that I mean I started looking at other tables being like, when did you order and when did your food come out?
Right.
When did you order and when did your food come out? And like Chicky and I said, we got there not necessarily first, but we got there before the rush.
Before the rush,
so to speak. And when I tell y'all, I got heated because a table that sat down after us got their entrees before us. I was like, that's not nice. Now, if you want to argue, I don't know if this table ordered appetizers, so maybe that's why they got their food first, you know, like, okay, and or maybe they didn't, you know, because I ordered a fun little drink, or, you know, was it lavender lemonade, and maybe, you know, that we had other things before, and it's not like we didn't get served. We got served, and then we waited, and I want to say total we waited 40 minutes. Or something like that?
I have no clue. The only thing I know for certain is that our waitress did come to our table. Eventually. And she said, sorry about the wait.
Yeah.
You know, there is a wait time on the chicken. And, you know, once that comes out, then we'll go ahead and then, you know, so give you your food. So we were like, okay, no problem.
I also want to say, I do not have anything against this waitress. Do I think she could have come to us sooner and told us that? Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
But otherwise, like, her service as a waitress was perfectly, like, no qualms, no questions. It was just like, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I also want to add, while we were people watching, we were watching a particular waitress that is not ours, and she was just always touching her hair.
Yeah.
Just all up in there, flicking it back, twirling around her finger,
flipping it away from her face.
And I'm just like,
she had similar hair to me, like, just long and, well, my hair's not that straight, but her hair was, like, long and straight. It was very, and not to say that her hair was very nice and beautiful. However,
you are serving food.
I was going to say, Chicky and I have had experience in the food industry. When you are touching and serving food to other people, and I don't know, maybe the rules are different at this restaurant. I
wouldn't think so.
But at the end of the day, the typical standard, and every other waitress in the store except for this one had their hair in a pony or in like a bun or something out of their face. But homegirl was pulling full on, you know, emo hair, just like this, And she kept doing this and 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 this. And Chiggy and I are just watching, like, her hair is flying everywhere.
Yep.
I can only imagine it's getting in people's food. And not just that, like, your hair produces oil and sweat and body things, and then you're going to touch someone's plate that has their food that they're going to eat. And it's not like she was washing her hands in between. Like, she's just walking around serving, but flipping the goodness out of her hair and touching her hair the whole time. Like, to the point that I was getting worried that, like, if she was going to serve our table, like, if she ended up delivering our food, I was going to say something. Like that. And that's how grossed out I was by it. And again, I mean, you know, maybe the rule is at the restaurant you can have your hair down, but, like, it just needs to be, like, neat or tidy or whatever. But for this girl to be blatantly walking around, and when we're not exaggerating, I'm every 10 seconds, every 30 seconds, she is touching and flipping and tossing and messing with her hair. Disgustingly so. And it's just like, girl, stop. Like, it's gross. And just thinking about it is giving me heebie-jeebies, because I'm like, all the people that she served, all those plates that she touched, it just, I can't. I really can't. Again, Chiggy and I, we, as we all know from, our episode before when we talked about how we met, how we started dating, we met at working at a cafe together. And even then, my hair wasn't as long as it is now, but my hair was always tied back, and not just tied back, pinned back. Like, if I had bangs or whatever, I'd pin it back with bobby pins or whatever. And then if I had to work behind the counter, we'd wear hairnets. Like, that's just that's the standard, because that is, that's personal. I don't want to say body fluids, but, like, personal body stuff. And you don't want that to get in other people's foods. Like, that's just not okay.
Yeah. And, like, working in the food industry, when we had met, that's actually my second job in the food industry.
Yeah.
You always wash your hands before your shift if you're going to be touching food or preparing food. And at any time, if you are to touch your face and or other parts of your body and you're going to serve or touch food, you need to wash your hands right after.
Yeah.
So if I were to touch my glasses right now, I couldn't touch it with my hand. I have to actually go to the back of my hand and move it up with my wrist.
Yeah.
So those are the things that, you have to be cognizant of.
I remember even if you worked cashier and you had to randomly move over to food line, because you touched money, you had to wash your hands. That was a big one.
Because money is dirty.
No, it really is. Because, especially if you work, so I worked at a coffee shop. Morning shift, normally 9 times out of 10, there's one person at the register, and they are running register the whole time. Because they're touching money, they're touching phones, they're touching, apps, whatever. You're touching the computer screen, all that stuff. And then the people handling food, they're the ones who, they wash their hands, and they're doing food prep and touching food and serving food. Washing their hands in between and all that stuff. On the rare occasion that you did have to swap back and forth, always. And that's why there's a sink. Literally, if you go to most food places, there's normally a sink right behind the register. Like, it's normally tucked away, but you'll see one right there, and it's for that purpose. If you go from register to food, you have to wash your hands. And having experienced all that, as in, we worked in that, and we did that, and we served people, and we've done it before, and seeing this girl just blatantly touching her disgusting hair, again, just thinking about it is giving me such heebie-jeebies. Like, my stomach is hurting thinking about it. It just, and again, I'm not saying that her hair was ugly. It's just, stop touching her hair and then touching people's food. Please. That is so gross. That is so obnoxiously, disgustingly, absurdly gross. Just, no, I can't. I'm not even a germaphobe, and that's gross. I have friends who are germaphobes, trust, and I'm not that, oh my gosh, it was wild. And then the pièce de la résistance to all of this was we finally got our food. And I don't know if because it's restaurant, I know your menu item was a restaurant week special, so it's not something that they offer on their regular menu. But my menu item, as Chiggy said, I ordered the chicken, is a staple. It's on their menu. It's on their regular menu. Y'all, when I tell you this meal made me really sad, I was really sad. I am not one who is picky about my food. If it's edible, I'll enjoy it. I just love food, so like food is great, and I enjoy eating all types of food. I love experiencing new types of food. Like I love food. I love food. But this meal just broke my poor little soul. I was so sad. So we waited about 45 minutes for this meal to come out. This is like after appetizers, y'all. So appetizers were served to us. Our plates were picked up. Another 45 minutes later, they finally bring out our food. And I want to be clear. It was very, very obvious from the beginning. Your food has been ready for a long time, and they were just waiting until my food was cooked.
Mm-hmm.
So your food had been sitting under a heat lamp this whole time, because you had a dry crust on top of your, like that dry film that happens over food under a heat lamp for so long. Which, again, I don't know if it's, maybe standards have changed, but like I know in my previous like food serving experiences, once food has been under the heat lamp for like 30 minutes, you have to remake that because it's just been sitting for 30 minutes. Now, I don't know, again, we're in the middle of restaurant week, it's busy. Did that affect your actual food? Not really. Mm-mm. There was just a weird dry film over it. Okay. My food, though, was interesting. My chicken was so overcooked and so dry, like pappy dry. Like you put it in your mouth and you're doing the, because it's so dry, like it sucked all the saliva out of your mouth because it was so horrendously overcooked. The skin was burnt. Mm-hmm. I had, in addition to that roast chicken, there was like collard greens, which I love collard greens, and mashed potatoes, or like some other carby side or something like. No, not mashed potatoes, roast potatoes.
Okay.
Roast potatoes. And I tried the collard greens. There's so much salt on these collard greens that, again, my mouth was doing the because of how much salt it was. Mm-hmm. So I have dry pappy chicken and overly salted which also collard greens, for you to be able to oversalt collard greens is absolutely insane, because collard greens are so big and they are so full of water that it's really hard to, oversalt them. Like generally speaking, you undersalt, like most people undersalt collard greens because they don't anticipate how much salt collard greens can take. So for them to have oversalted the collard greens is mind-blowing. Like I felt like I was drinking patis. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what patis is, why am I saying patis? Patis, if you don't know what patis is, it's fish sauce. Mm-hmm. And we eat fish sauce on a regular basis, like in Filipino cuisine. But I felt like I was just eating collard greens soaked in patis. Yeah. Like it was so salty. And then my potatoes.
Yeah.
I have no idea how they prepared these potatoes. No, I do. They boiled them and they overboiled them, which is fine because sometimes overcooked potatoes do make better potatoes depending on the preparation that you're trying to do. So they overboiled my potatoes, which means that it was really, really mushy, which is fine, but it was mushy and wet. They weren't mushy and dry. You want mushy, dry potatoes if you're doing roast potatoes. On top of that, they roasted in salt, celery, and onion. And I was like, what in the fake mirepoix is this? Because it was like the most confused seasoning. Mm-hmm. They seasoned it with thyme and rosemary and celery and onion. And I'm like, that's not a mirepoix. That's not a bouquet garni. That's not, like, what is that? I don't know what that is. But I'll tell you this, didn't taste good. And so I have overcooked, mushy, wet potatoes in addition to undercooked onions and celery topped on my supposedly roast potatoes. And then again, with the salt, chunks of salt. And I'm just like, what happened to this plate? Like, this poor plate has gone to war and has come out on the other side not doing great. And I was like, this is the worst meal I've ever had, like, going out. I was like, this is horrible. I was so appalled and sad. I was more sad than anything else. And Chiggy will tell you, I was just like, the whole time.
Yeah. So, Ami, usually when she's eating, she's like uppity and like bouncing around, and she's like giddy because she's about to eat food. But when she tried everything once, she was stiff. Just
it was
like
so sad, guys. Like, it was
and
so sad.
I could also tell that your RBF was showing because you were just like, what is this?
I wear my heart on my sleeve. I can't help it.
Yeah. So I even pointed it out to you during the meal. I was like, you don't like your food, do you? She's like,
it's fine.
it's fine. You lie. You lied to me.
Because I don't want anyone to hate me. I'm so anti-confrontational. But I actually did hate my food.
Yeah, and that's a first.
I was so sad.
Yeah. So sorry to say that for you. I was going to choose that as my entree.
Yeah.
And then I changed my mind.
Normally you get the chicken and I get the fish. But this
Mhm.
time we were like, no, let's switch it up.
Yeah. So my entree was a salmon fillet
Mm-hmm.
on top of hash browns with cheese and something.
Like a Mornay sauce. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a weird combination to me, but it's like something that I would eat all separately.
Yes. It was a very interesting combination. And by that I mean, like, okay. I'm I am not pretentious. Like, I need y'all to understand, I am not pretentious when it comes to food. I will eat garbage from Taco Bell. Like, I am not pretentious when it comes to food. But to do a full Mornay sauce, like full, like, roux Mornay sauce of heavy dense cheese with a delicately filleted salmon cut,
Mhm.
like, it, like, the balance was weird. And then you have a pancake of hash browns, which was supposed to, I guess, be the texture because it was kind of crispy, but because of the Mornay sauce, ended up becoming soggy.
Yeah.
Like, again, wet. Our plates were so wet
Mhm.
unnecessarily. And it's like, okay, salmon is a strong flavored fish. As in, like, salmon has a very distinct taste. Generally speaking, most of the time, you either, kind of steam it or you, do it with, like, some light herbs and some lemon. Like, because salmon is salmon and it tastes like salmon.
Mhm.
A Mornay sauce is something that you put with, like, it's that dense, like, punch in the gut, heavy, thick, decadent cheese sauce that you put, like, over potatoes, or you put over like things that need that extra velvet, to add it to it. And then the hash browns were just not cooked right because it was crispy and burnt on one side and then just soggy on the other. So it was like, what is happening with your cooktop? And the meal wasn't balanced. The cheese sauce was, again, way too decadent, like too much dairy.
Mhm.
And again, I'm just thinking about dairy and salmon. It's just like it can work, I guess, but it's just like, it's so interesting. And then on top of that, just like this salmon fillet just being like, it just, I don't know. 2 + 2 did not equal 4 that night. That's for dang sure. And I'm not, like, shading the chef or the restaurant. Like, I'm really not. I'm sure they had a vision because clearly they went through with whatever that vision was. I just do not agree with that vision because a fake mirepoix roast potato and then Mornay sauce and salmon was just not. But then I'm also trying to think, I'm like, is that our fault because we didn't read the menu correctly? Like, am I crazy? I don't know. It was weird. The food was weird.
It was.
There's no other way to say it.
Like, I liked on my entree the crispy parts of the hash browns
That wasn't
on
burnt.
the outside,
Yeah, that wasn't.
and then the bottom was pretty crispy as well.
Okay.
But
Like the bottom of the pancake.
yeah, the bottom of the pancake, but it was on the bottom. So by the time you get to the bottom, it's no longer crispy.
It's like soggy.
Yeah. So the rest of the hash browns was either undercooked and or just mushy.
Yeah. So much mush.
Yeah.
So wet. Everything. I don't understand. How?
Yeah. Anyways, so when you're eating that mushy hash browns with the cheese sauce, or what is it called?
Mornay sauce.
Mornay sauce.
It's a roux with cheese.
It just tasted like it was baby food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Hmm.
That is the correct assessment of that situation.
Yeah. I mean, nothing wrong with it for me because I still down some hash browns and cheese, but
Because you love hash browns.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love hash browns and cheese? Yes.
but it didn't go well together on that
Didn't
plate.
sit. Yeah, it just wasn't. There was nothing. There was nothing to lighten the plate. There was no herbs. There was no like finish of like a lemon or like a vinaigrette or something to like lift the palate. It was just all dense, and then a fillet of fish. Which even then I don't think they cooked the fish correctly, but that's being nitpicky, and I'm very nitpicky about that. That's fine.
So, safe to say we did not finish our entrees.
All of that to say, we didn't finish our food, which is, I mean, y'all, if two chunky people come to your restaurant and don't finish their food, that says a lot about your restaurant.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So, we don't finish our food. We ask the waitress, can we get a box for our food and can we get our desserts?
Why we got boxes, I will never know.
Right. I thought it would have tasted better, if it had gotten heated up more. So if we had microwaved it,
Yeah.
because that mushy hash brown was also a little bit cold too.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of cold. Okay, what I tell y'all, I actually wanted to cry when this happened. I was so excited for dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because I got bread pudding. I love bread pudding. I love it. Why? Because it's bread and it's sweet and it's bread and it's carbs and it's sweet and it's delicious and it's perfect. It is the perfect dessert in every way. It's crispy, it's soft, it's sweet, it's tender, it's creamy, it's everything you want in a dessert, and it does not taste like there's no flavor to it. It's just bread pudding.
Yeah.
I love bread pudding. They served me frozen bread pudding. And I'm crying thinking about it. I'm so sad. Because why? Why would you serve it to me ice cold?
Mm-hmm.
Bread pudding's supposed to be piping hot and bubbling. Like, think about like cobbler style. Like, it's like the little
Right.
bubbles on top. No, just this brick that was like slightly warm on the edges and the middle completely frozen. Like, I was stabbing it with my spoon. Completely frozen. Now, on the other hand, you got a peach turnover that was lava hot on the inside and burnt on the outside.
Right.
And so, I'm like, make it make sense.
So what happened for our entrees switched, and I got a fresh dessert that was actually, well, I wouldn't say it was great, but I don't understand how you would burn the outside.
Y'all think of I don't know, a fancy turnover, like a fancy Pop-Tart. Yeah, an empanada. So it's puff pastry / some type of pastry. The whole it was it was in a half moon shape, and the whole center part, you could tell they put it under a salamander or something that was either too close or too hot, because the whole center part, just a black circle, just a full black circle that she served it to us like that. I know y'all saw that it's burnt. You can't tell me that it's not. And then, so we're like, okay, well, we'll just eat around the edges. We don't have to eat the burnt part. It's fine. We cut into this silly little turnover and bite into it. It is lava hot. The inside you would have 7,000 level degree burns. It was so hot. And I was like, why is it so extreme? And then in comparison, my frozen bread pudding. And I was so mad because I was just like, this was supposed to save the meal, and it just made it worse, significantly worse. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So I had 2.5 bites of my bread pudding. You ate the inside of your turnover.
Yes.
Because the outside was inedible.
And then I finished the whipped cream and the
blueberries
fruits.
Fruits on the side, yeah. But it was just, oh man. I will say, when we got home that night, literally popped in the microwave for 30 seconds, popped some ice cream on top of it. It was perfect. All they had to do was pop it in a microwave or heat it up.
And it would have been like, and that's what I'm saying. It would have been the perfect dessert to save them from the garbage entrees that we had.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't even get the dessert right because they served it to me frozen. I was fuming.
Yeah.
I was internally fuming, but also I was just sad because I really wanted to enjoy this meal. And it just wasn't. It really just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on a side tangent, because I didn't mention it earlier, I mentioned that I got a lavender lemonade. I love lavender, and I love lemonade, and I love lavender lemonade. It was just sugar syrup. Like, and I need y'all to understand, I can go to Starbucks and get, like, the crazy, super sweet, not coffees that they serve. But when I tell y'all she served me a glass of simple syrup and a, like, squirt of lemon. Like, that's what it tasted like. Because even Chiggy, when he was drinking, I think you tried a sip and you just drank, like, you couldn't even drink it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. It was so bad. So the bartender did their job wrong. The chefs definitely did their jobs wrong. The host did not know how to do his job. Our waitress was fine. I don't have any negative notes against her.
Mm.
I mean, arguably, could there have been better service? Sure, but I'm not going to complain about the service that she did provide us.
True.
And then the other wait staff, particularly one of them, doesn't know how to be a wait staff.
Right.
She was a mess, dude. She truly was a mess.
Yeah. So, all that to say, we like to try things at least once.
Yeah, we try to give everything a shot.
And I tried it once.
Yeah.
I'm never going back ever again.
I might go back. And here's why. Because all of our friends, like, we got recommendations for this restaurant. They all said that the brunch breakfast situation is much better. Or, like, that they had amazing experiences doing that. So I will go back, probably with some girlfriends, on, like, a, random Sunday morning brunch type situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll try their brunch. Do I have high expectations for it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I would.
No, I say, like, I'm fully expecting them to fail. So if they don't fail, then I'll just be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. So to add on to all that, for a restaurant to be in restaurant week, and it's towards the end of restaurant week, you would have at least, like, known that you're making this dish and our entree and our appetizer and our dessert
The menu, yeah.
plenty of times.
Yeah.
A plethora of times throughout this restaurant week. How did you mess up so bad towards the end of restaurant week?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys just get fed up with this menu? Like, oh, we have another one, guys.
Who knows?
F it up.
Who knows?
But that was such a letdown for me because I was like, why does this food taste so bad?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm being so honest, y'all. We do not have, like, super high standards. Can we and have we identified when we've had really good food? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But we will also eat food that is not at that caliber because we just love food.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need y'all to know that. We are not trying to be out here being like, oh, it has to be Michelin star, or it has to be. No. If food is good, food is good. And Chiggy and I 100% will eat it. No problem. But when it's not, it's just a big letdown.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope that, like I said, if I ever go back, I hope to be pleasantly surprised and just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
This particular restaurant chain is a fairly popular chain across the East Coast. And I've only ever heard good things about it, but yeah, our experience was a rough one, to say the least.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. So, like, I don't want to, like, do any type of business with that restaurant ever again. But I will say that, there are times where we've gone to other restaurants and they provide us excellent service, even though their food is mid.
Yeah.
So, like, this past week, we celebrated my brother's birthday and we went to another all-you-can-eat restaurant that served sushi, and the one waiter that was serving the entire restaurant gave us such excellent service.
Yeah.
So like we got there and we were waiting for our party. So he sat us down and he was like, do you want to order now or do you want to wait for your party? And we're like, we'll wait. So he got us our drink orders and then, we just sat there for a while. It took us about maybe 10 to 15 minutes before they came. And like even within those 10 to 15 minutes, he came by and he checked on us again. He was like, hey, are you sure you don't want to order food? Do you need a refill or anything? No, we're good. Kudos to him. Our party finally came, and of course it was Kuya and his wife and his son and mom.
But
and of course our party has a rowdy child. Like he does get loud.
He's a toddler.
Okay, he does get loud. He does like bang stuff and all that, but our server still accommodated us.
Oh, he was playing with baby. He was like, hey.
Yep. He gave us a high chair for him. And then, mom, or, the child's mom had food for him that was not.
His Cheerios.
Yeah. Well, was not, part of the menu, but, they allowed us to feed him his food.
Normal.
He gave him, French fries and what was that then? Shomai, shrimp dumplings. He ate that as well. That was great. We got through our entire meal. He checked up on us if we wanted to order more food at least twice.
I was like, we reordered like 2-3 times. Yeah.
He gave us all the refills that we wanted. I got at least 3. And then we had also our party also had a cake that we wanted to serve for dessert at the end. And they accommodated us again. They gave us extra plates. They gave us a knife from the kitchen to cut the cake.
A whole kitchen knife.
They gave us utensils that we could, eat the cake with. And, everything just went smooth. Their food wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but the service that they provided made the experience so much better.
Yeah.
And so
we had a pleasant experience, despite it being like we had a child with us, and we were trying to like get organized, and people were running late, and this is that and the other. But because of their excellent service, it went by smoothly. Yeah,
and I had a great time. The bill came, and I saw the bill. I didn't like it, but I was like, hey, for the level of service that we were given, I will definitely pay this and give you above 30% tip on it, because I was like, wow, you guys did such an amazing job. So I mean, there are times where we have that, and there are times where we don't. And I think we run into that situation where we don't get that level of service, or we just get poor service, and that just messes up with our experience and or meal. Because like even then, recently we went to another restaurant. Food is amazing there. But we waited, we waited a long time just to get our check. And I was just looking around. I was people watching, and
we identified that our particular, like the waiter that was assigned to us, went
on
break.
lunch.
They went on their break, and because they were sitting in the corner eating, and obviously, like that's how
fine.
that works. Yeah, that's how that works. But the other wait staff then
did not pick up their slack.
Yeah, they full on neglected us. All we had to do was check out. We were done. Like, we would have been out of their hair, done. We sat there waiting like 15, 20 minutes. It was silly. It was silly because it was like, that wasn't necessary. Like, it really shouldn't have been that hard. And I mean, I don't know, maybe there was miscommunication. Like, you can even argue miscommunication, or like, just like, in the rush, maybe like a slight unawares. But it's not a big restaurant. You can literally turn your head and see every table. You could see that you and I are clearly done eating. Like, our plates are pushed away from us, and we're looking at you. And that the person or the other two waitresses, like, we were looking at both the waitresses trying to like signal to them. They like avoided eye contact with us and just went about taking care of other things. Like, literally, one of the waitresses started bussing tables. I was like, give us our check. Like, hello? It's like, you can literally give us our check, continue to bust tables, and come. Like, it's like, this whole interaction, this is, like, literally the last part of the interaction we have. And we will get out of your hair. But no, they just made us sit for 15 minutes unnecessarily to wait for a check. It was silly.
Yeah.
What silly Billy business. I was sad because, like you said, I like their food. I like their food a lot. But that last bit of our experience, I was like, come on now, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you and I are just too jaded because we did work in food industry and food service and customer service in general. And maybe that's why we hold others to a higher standard, because I think we held ourselves to a pretty high standard when we had those jobs.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But if you have no self-awareness, and your job is to, give customer service, if you're, I don't know, if you're on your phone, if you're doing other things, if you're not attending to your customers, you're not really doing your job.
Yeah.
Because, hey, when we worked food service and we were serving our customers, I don't think I was on my phone. I couldn't be because I was either unregistered,
or driving.
serving customers and or driving.
Yeah.
But still, it's like customers can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like unless you are out of eyeshot of them, that's when you would be able to do that. Yeah. But if you're within eyeshot of them and they can see that, and they can see other things that you're doing, you're not really doing your job correctly. So.
Yeah. One more side story I did want to share.
Okay.
Only because it's kind of one of those things that I think it goes beyond just having a bad experience. And it speaks to, I guess, cultures and norms and maybe abnormalities. There was one time where we went to a restaurant that was very clearly a Southern restaurant. I love Southern food. I grew up on Southern food. I'm from the Florida-Georgia line. You best believe I love me some good Southern food. And I was very excited to go to this restaurant. I think I'd been telling you about it for so long, and I finally made the time to go. And as soon as we walked in, there was an odd hush in the restaurant.
Not even an odd hush. It was just everyone's attention just turned towards us as soon as we walk in.
Yeah. And, I'm not here to bash this restaurant or I'm not here to bash the business, because we didn't have a bad experience with the business.
Not at all.
And honestly, the food was pretty okay. It was good. I liked it because I like Southern food. Did we go back? No. But the reason why we didn't go back was when we walked in and this, the restaurant goes quiet and everyone stares at it. It felt very like we're in the movies.
Right.
It was very weird. It was just the vibe of, who are you? You don't belong here.
Yeah.
And I am not one to, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up in the South, so this is not something that I've ever encountered this blatantly.
Yeah, true.
I've encountered it probably as a jest, or I've encountered it as whatever, but I've never had an issue, or I've never felt like I stood out that badly. But at this restaurant, there was a lot of patrons who were not people of color, and very clearly, Chiggy and I are not that fair-skinned, I guess is the way to say it. Now, I'm not going to stand here and identify as someone who's had the hardships of other people who've been full-on persecuted and all that stuff. Absolutely not. I'm very fortunate that I did not have those types of experiences. This was the first time that I was oh snap, maybe we don't belong here, and it felt very weird.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to process it, cause
it felt very weird.
It felt really weird. The crowd, I think it was a weekend morning.
It was definitely a morning, yeah.
Yeah, relatively early in the morning. So, and by that I mean the crowd was older. But even then, it felt weird, because I was in 757 or in Hampton Roads, we're a pretty diverse community.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we have all types of people from all walks of life. And so to blatantly walk into a situation like this where we felt othered and we felt segregated, it was very weird.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I just kind of want to bring this up as a side story because it's not necessarily, like I said, I'm not blaming the restaurant. I'm not blaming shout out to our waitress. She was perfectly normal and did not act like we were any different or any whatever. But it was a weird experience. And it kind of like humble pied me in a sense of like, because I had never really experienced it to that degree. It was like, oh, this is what it feels like when you are othered and when you are put aside because you don't belong to their crowd.
Mm-hmm.
All that being said, y'all are not invited to the boodle fight. So just throwing it out there. And the thing is also like, I mean, like I can joke about it because it's just like, oh, then I'm not going to give you a tray of lumpia for your birthday.
Right.
You're lost. You know, that type of thing. But it's also just like, it's sad that happened like within the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
We are in 2020. This is 2020s, 2026, whatever. So for it to be that obvious and prevalent in our day and age, in our generation, it's like appalling. I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's actually crazy. And it wasn't like we weren't, I don't know. To me, we didn't stick out in any other way. We weren't wearing garish clothing. We didn't come in hooting and hollering like a bunch of kids or something. Like, we just came in like two regular restaurant patrons. And it was a very surreal experience. So.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that other than, us coming in and people to soften and or stop what they're doing and focus their attention on us based on either what we look like or what we were wearing.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that was out of the ordinary other than the color of our skin.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the restaurant was predominantly Caucasian.
Yes.
And there was only one other person that was not of color, or
There was
of color.
There was another person of color, yes.
And we actually were sat next to that table. And it was a Caucasian man and a non-Caucasian man, both of which they were both wearing like cowboy attire. They had hats, they had like the vests, and then had little frills on it. And then they were
frills.
I don't know what they're called, but those little things at the end.
Okay.
And then they were wearing plaid like undershirts underneath the vests.
Yeah.
And
they flannel type.
Yeah, they were very courteous to us because when we got sat down at a four top, but there was only 2 seats. And so 2 of our other seats were being taken.
Yeah.
And I noticed that, you were still holding your purse and your jacket or whatever. And, I had asked the person to sit next to us. I was like, hey, do you mind if we can get one of our seats back so we can, I can have my girlfriend's stuff on, on the chair. And they're like, oh, yes, I'm so sorry. Let me wipe it off for you. He gave me the chair. And I was like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So to say, other than just the weird awkwardness of us walking in,
the vibe, yeah,
and just catching that shush or the hush of us walking in, that was the only thing bad about that experience.
Yeah.
There wasn't people that were like saying mean things to us or we couldn't hear anything.
I was like, we didn't hear what the other tables were saying.
We couldn't hear anything bad coming from the other tables. It was just that initial hush of when we came in. Yeah. But so to say that was the only bad experience that we had at that time.
Yeah. Or in, I guess in that category of thing, which, and I want to fully recognize like that is such a small thing in comparison to what other people have experienced in this, realm of being separated or being othered. So we are very fortunate in that. Like I recognize that, but it was just something that I wanted to bring up because it was a profound experience for
Mhm.
me, and I think for you too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because it was, well, number one, it was very humbling in a sense of, oh, this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
And I sympathize with others who have to go through this. But also it was just like, why are we like this? Like it was an eye-opening experience of, there are still people and communities out there that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we, like I said, in our world, for the most part, we don't run into that at work, at church, at wherever we go out. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, we do not run into this issue. And so the fact that we did felt very jarring almost.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, again, that humbling reminder of this still very much exists. And, you know, it's kind of one of those things that it's like, you can't just assume that just because it doesn't affect you on a regular doesn't mean it's not there. So yeah, it was a very, like I said, it was a learning experience for sure. And I mean, I still order my grits with extra butter, so what they
Yep.
gonna say about it?
Yep.
You always order extra butter. If you don't order extra butter, you gotta get it with cheese. Otherwise, it's just oatmeal. Ain't nobody got time for that. So all of that to say, wow, I don't know where that came from. All of that to say, you know, I'm so interested in like for those who are listening, if you've ever either experienced similar experiences to us, or if you had different experiences, again, just like I was saying kind of at the top of the episode, where I was like, I always try to like wonder, I was like, is it something that we did as consumers that we've had? Again, the ours tends to be the recurring our bad experience being like the waiter or waitress kind of just doesn't tend to us.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like, well, is it us? Are we the problem? Am I the drama? And so, yeah, let us know in the comments down below if that has ever happened to you or anything like that. But did you have any other final thoughts you wanted to share?
Not at all.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We hope these bad experiences are either enlightening to you or at least kind of funny to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely our experience where I had a bad time with the food, which so rarely happens, was a little bit of a laugh for y'all. But yeah, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Again, thank you so much for listening, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.